Little Red Riding Hood and Other Tales. Once upon a time, in a house on a faraway land, in a very big forest, there lived a mother and her daughter. Her daughter is Little Red Riding Hood. She was a very energetic little girl, and she loved to go to her grandmother's house. On a not so sunny day, the grandma was sick, and the mother said to Little Red Riding Hood, "My dear, your grandma is sick and she's in bed. She doesn't have anything to eat. Please bring the pies that I just baked to your grandmother." Little Red Riding Hood nodded and went right away. On the way to her grandmother's house, she saw some good and ripe strawberries. She thought, this looks yummy and they look clean too. Maybe I can bring them to Grandma. She picked some and put it in her basket. Next up, she saw some lovely daisies on the road. These flowers smells beautifully great. Grandma would be very happy to smell these too. She picked some and put it in her basket. On the way to her grandma, the black wolf appeared. He said to Little Red Riding Hood, "Ooh, hello. Where are you going, little girl?" Little Red Riding Hood stopped for a moment and said, "I'm going to my grandma's house, and she's really sick and she's in bed, so me and my mother are worried about her." The wolf asked where was her grandma's house, and she said, "It's not very far away, just like a little 5 more steps on the east." The wolf followed the direction and he came to Grandma's house. It was so dangerous. Sorry, it's the ad. Sorry. Skip this. The wolf came. "Grandma, Grandma," he said in his sweetest voice. The grandma sit up and asked, "Is that you, Little Red Riding Hood?" The wolf said again in his even sweeter voice, "It's me, Grandma. I'm here. Mom said that I should bring these to you. You're sick." Grandma smiled and said, "Come in, my dear granddaughter." The wolf came in and Grandma was shocked. She couldn't believe what is in her eyes. But before she could shouted for help, the wolf has swallowed her in his belly. Now he can replace Grandma. Little Red Riding Hood arrived and saw the wolf. It was so hilarious. Little Red asked, "Grandma, I'm here. I'm here to bring the foods. You're sick in bed." The wolf said in his not so sweet voice, but said in an old and grandma-ish voice, "Oh, my dear, come in here. I want to see your face." Little Red came in and she was a little shocked. It was still her grandma, but it looked very different. Uh, she asked, "Grandma, you have you have really big hands and those sharp claws." The gra- the wolf said, "Oh dear, uh it's just another if that another thing that affects on me, dear," he said. Little Red looked suspiciously. "What big eyes you have! The better to see you, dear," she asked again. "What big ears you have! The better to hear you, dear. I'm not so young like you now." One last question from Little Red. "What big mouth you have!" The wolf jumped out of bed and said, "The better to eat you." He swallowed Little Red in his belly. Poor Little Red couldn't scream or shout anymore. Luckily, on that day, a hunter in a village nearby was go hunting. He saw the wolf in an abandoned house. He was very shocked. The wolf's belly is very large. He came in and shot the wolf. Inside, he used his knife. He used his knife to scratch the wolf's belly and saved Little Red and her grandma. Little Red and her grandma thanked him. They were so glad they're saved. "Thank you, Mr. Hunter," Little Red said. "No, it's nothing. But remember, don't talk to strangers and never go on the shortcut again," he said. The end.